Tonight's homework should be pretty straightforward. Now I was debating on doing one lesson or two lessons, but we may look at 613 a little bit, but we're mainly just going to do 612. Yeah, we'll probably just end up using the extra time at the end for homework, but a lot of times you guys kind of squander. Well, I wouldn't say squander. Some of you don't use that as well as you should. Now, where are Satya and Chris?
They both died.
I would be remorseful if that were true.
Wait, do you get a test back?
I have two that are still out. That haven't been turned in for grading yet, so I can't get back to you guys while I still have tests floating around. So that everyone here, since they just asked, I can't give you guys your tests back yet because I still have a couple that need to be turned in, so just hang on. You'll be fine. The ones that are in are just mastery. Even if you made some mistakes the first time, we talked about them, we fixed things, we went over it. You're mastering now. And we're going to keep reviewing those skills. I'm going to go see if I can find Chris or whatever. You guys can go ahead and look at 12.
You'll get infected with KPC.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm going to die from KPC.
What is that?
Hey, guys. Our math teacher died. Our math teacher died from KPC. You guys not KFC.
Our teacher died because...
Wait, do you guys know the chicken that KFC sells has no head?
He's a famale now.
Yeah, artificial chicken.
Jacob is a famale.
It is. Yes, it is. Bet.
What?
How much?
Bet.
How much?
Me.
Okay, if I win this, you're my server. If you win this, I'm your server.
What does this even look
Well.
I bet. You don't have
So
Wait, I bet.
And we're going to go ahead and dive in without Satya because, whatever. Where are you going?
I'm getting the book.
I got help.
I think you guys have already made it, but to announce the same thing I've announced to all of my classes, we are shooting to have all of your books back here by Thursday so that I could let you know on Friday at our family forum if we've made it or not. Alright, here's today's lesson. You ready for this?
No!
I think you are.
No, I'm not.
Here's today's lesson. You ready, Satya?
No, not yet.
Here's all of today's lesson. The whole thing. In 3 words.
Special right squares. Special right triangles. A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Nope.
2.1
Great
squared
one.
by yourself.
Way easier.
Faster than light. Review and preview. Hit or miss.
No.
3,
Never miss.
4,
5 triangles.
Oh, it's
5.
What about 5,
Oh my
13?
God!
What about 5, 12, 13?
That's it.
What about 5, 12,
Alright,
13?
homework.
Yes.
Ha.
So, when dealing with right triangles, we have these special things called a Pythagorean triple. Which means, anyone think you have the definition? Like all of it, not just 3, 4, 5, but what it actually means. Satya?
2 perfect squares adding up to another perfect square.
Yeah. There's one other word that I tend to use. I don't think you need it since you said perfect square. But another way to define it is integer values that can make a right triangle. So obviously we can make right triangles infinitely many different ways. But there are certain cases that work out nicely. Now, in construction, the most common way to check a right angle is a Pythagorean triple. Either the 3, 4, 5 or the 5, 12, 13, because it's easy to measure out. So if I'm building something, let's say I'm building a patio, and I want a right angle on the corner, doesn't matter how long the pieces that I'm using are, if I measure out 5 feet, and I measure out 12 feet, the distance between them has to be 13, or I don't have a right angle. If I measure out 3 feet, and I measure out 4 feet, the distance between those points has to be 5, or I don't have a right angle, and I have to adjust things to make it work. I use this. People use this all the time. No joke, building my brother's patio for him. And lots of patios, as I worked in landscaping. Yeah, he's 6 years older than me. He works for DeWalt, the tool company.
And you needed your help?
Yeah, well, he didn't work for DeWalt then, but I'm better at math.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he went into like HR, sort of like. So he went into political science, but is more like an HR type person.
Wait, political science?
Yeah, it was just like it's just one of those weird majors that you can do a lot with. So,
Okay, never mind.
not all of these are going to be Pythagorean triples. So, warning on that first. So, if we look at A, well, actually, we're just going to look at all of these real quick and see how good we are at our triangles so far. Let's solve for the unknowns in all of these triangles. So, obviously, B, easy. This is 3. But then let's find the hypotenuse, which, if we remember our rules that we've been talking about, should be easy. C, we have a 3, 4, and then this is part of our discovery learning, but if you did the Pythagorean theorem, or formula, or whatever you want to call it, we'd get a 5 there. So, work through all of these, solve for the unknowns of these triangles. Let's give you 3 minutes and see where we stand
Mr.
then.
Hudson,
Yeah.
what's the question number?
It is, get your book. No, it's 612. I'm just giving you a hard time. It's 612. This is problem 12.
Wait, do you have to write all these down?
I mean, I normally have to sketch it to solve it. Like, real deal. Okay, let's back. Do we have to? Is the worst question to ask.
Technically.
Will it benefit you to draw a sketch of this before you solve it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
So just sketch these out real quick, label what we have, and then fill in the unknown that we solved. Unknowns.
That's nice.
So just the back and forth banter, like, no offense, but neither of you are super cool, like, compared to the other one. Like, stop with the banter. You're both just great 8th graders. You're wonderful young men. Quit talking smack. Are you trying to decide on a trig function?
No, I'm trying to decide which one to be the short side.
Well, would it be opposite the 60 or opposite the 30?
I don't know. The 60.
Think
Oh yeah,
change
opposite
to-
bigger angle.
For the bigger side or smaller side?
The bigger side.
But which does that relate to? Does it relate to the big side or the short side?
What?
Which would the 12 relate to? The big side or the short side? Short side, right? Yeah. Short leg, we should really say, but
Well,
we won't have a
you
short
could give me my
hypotenuse.
calculator. Oh heck, that's wrong.
We shouldn't. Well, okay, on a couple of them we might need a calculator, but we shouldn't really need to calculate many of these.
So 8, 6, 10 is another one that works good and nicely.
Yeah, 6, 8, 10. Sure. Saying 8, 6, 10 just sounds
It's
wrong.
just double the 3, 4, 5. Then you do also triple. Yeah.
You are correct. We can do that. Just do the problem that we're looking at. That's literally G. What you're sitting there just like thinking in your head. Like, do the problem. I'm gonna literally print out some like nice looking invitations that say, please join me in doing math. And be able to hand them to people. Like, here you go, Chris. Yeah. You are invited. You do math.
Congratulations.
Okay, that's like the shitty view.
Why would you need to use degree?
No. The shadiest thing would be an invitation that just says,
Oh, yeah, I don't even. That would say what? Free candy.
Free candy if you do that. Free Wi-Fi.
free candy, just jump in this van.
Not a safe free V-Buck and you'll get all the kids.
Now, I love Devin. He's awesome, Mr. Phrase. But I'll tell you what, his van is sketchy. He bought the van that he has because he does a lot of construction. They're like remodeling these old buildings down in Clintonville and stuff. So he has to buy like lots of things at Home Depot. But when he lived in it for a little while. Like he was out traveling and camping and stuff. Like he has multiple houses, so it was not out of necessity. But he camped like out of his van for a while.
Why does he have multiple houses?
Because he's investing in real estate, and that's a good idea.
Wait,
Because you can flip it and sell it for more than what you bought it for. And
How do you-
rough it?
could we do that?
Yeah, if you have enough money.
Okay,
I've
you
invested.
got money.
So that house I have right now, I never plan to pay off. I assume I will sell it before I end up paying it off, and I will sell it for more than what I paid because of the
And then
market,
pay the bank off.
and I will pay it off and keep the extra.
So do you already have? Do you have a backup house?
My parents. That's always your backup house forever.
Real life
I saw this
versus-
really depressing thing on
Hey, it has a pretty nice tent if we're being
I
serious.
saw this really depressing thing
Show it to us.
on Discord. It was like
I'm going to start writing up answers Check.
Calculadora.
as you're ready.
It's not one.
You are. Okay, something happened in this glitch.
I think it was my 9.39. Our
That
teacher
doesn't-
used to make us volunteer to go up there and hit them.
Does the prompt ask for radical answers, decimal answers, or does it not even care?
Probably doesn't care.
Well, yeah, this is good.
Let's see.
So, if it doesn't care, oh my god, what is wrong with you? Alright, but that's 6, right? And then what's this going to be?
6 squared of 3.
Radical 3
10.
times 6, or 6 radical 3.
Not put 39.
Yeah, something's broken. I'm going to try this again.
It is
Do it with
very
your finger. Do it
broke.
with your finger.
Doesn't make a difference if you do it with your finger.
Bing. 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 Wait, why are you dragging it?
Because if the single point that I click is dead, it won't work. So if you drag it, it actually says, oh, we're going that way, that way, that way, that way, that. Oh, there it is. And even if that point doesn't exist, it knows where it is based off where it came from. So over here, this is 3. What is this?
That should be
3
3 radical 2. Always good to also have decimal approximations. So start over here. The decimal approximation was
9.39. 4.4. I said it first.
No, I did. I ended first.
Cuatro
Actually.
punto.
and 5 over here, right?
Yeah.
It's 2.
Here we get
8 squared. 8.
here.
What am I
Wait,
saying?
hold up. Wait.
4 squared of 3. 874. No, wait. What am I saying? Why did I get 7?
6.
4 radical 3, which is
6.93.
Oh, I
6.93.
rounded up that one. 13.
this is another special Pythagorean
5,000.
triple.
No, what?
39.
No.
Not 39.
I had to do, yeah.
It's 39.
39.
Times 3, right?
Aha.
Oh, yeah.
And then that one isn't
Wow. 40.
Preguntas.
Not me?
So is this a dilation of one of the other? Is this a dilation of? Is this a dilation of one of the others, or is this a new unique one?
New unique one.
So right now, Pythagorean triples, and I would put this on your notes.
3, 4, 5.
Pythagorean.
Yeah, I have no
Write down.
space. We have 3,
no,
4,
I was just
5.
saying that because I did it on my video too.
Satya, why do you constantly have to be the loudest person in the room? Like, if I play back my videos of teaching, I bet you're talking 30% of the time. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just laying it out there. Like, every time I take a breath, you are talking. Either to yourself, or to somebody else. Or just about what you're doing. Oh, I did this wrong. I did round it. Like, quit announcing things. Come on, man. I don't like having to do this. But like, already in the 10 minutes that we've been doing stuff, you have not stopped talking. We had 3, 4, 5. What else? 5, 12, 13, and now we even have 9, 40, 41. Now, a question that brings up in our head is there a Pythagorean triple between here? Probably doubtful since CPM did it like this, but who knows?
There might be a
So if you're real interested, you could go on that adventure and explore that. Remember, every value would have to be an integer. So to do that, you either have to find a start leg of 6, 7, or 8, that then another integer leg can then make work perfect.
Is there one common thing in all of the Pythagorean triples?
What's
The
that?
first number is all odd, second number is all even, and the third number is all odd.
I wonder if that always works.
Like,
So what you
6
have
is
right
a
now is a conjecture.
Oh my gosh. What's like 6 is
It's like a hypothesis, right?
to math.
Sorry, Jacob. What was what?
Yeah. If you take
You can put your hand
second
in.
two, so if you square the first number, then that's equal to the second two numbers added together.
If I square the first number,
Whoa.
it's equal to the sum of the other two.
Nani the heck?
That's an interesting observation.
You know these things. Good job, Jacob.
I know nothing. I'm just up here going through the textbook.
Now that's a
Who
lie.
did it?
All right, that's still broke.
7,
Yeah.
24, 25. Yeet.
So 7, 24, 25 would work.
I'm a Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah, Chris, that's what
Seven.
I was doing it the same.
Check it more.
Wait, 7, 24, 25.
So logically, the next should be 11 squared plus.
So here's your true definition for those that want to put eyes on it. Any three positive integers, ABC, and now we could just say whole numbers except 0 doesn't count, so that's why they say positive integers. No, you can't have negative lengths. Commonly, these, and then we have a lot more. So, try these real quick. Little bit more difficult. Well, a couple are. Depends on your viewpoint. What is B?
Negative 4, 5, 6.
Ooh, 4, 5, 6.
3, 4, 3, 4, 5.
It's a 3, 4, 5, right? But dilated 6 times. Right? Or times 6, like scale factor of 6. So 3 times 6, 4 times 6, 5 times 6. So that's a 30. By the way, my board's just screwed up. What's weird is it was fine for the first 2 classes. Something that you guys did broke it.
Ha! Maybe.
Over here, what are my side lengths in A?
7.5 and 7.5 are good.
6.5.
11.23 actually. Oh yeah. I had the point pi right.
Find another one.
48.
What's my hypotenuse over here?
That is 35.5.
Sorry, 35.
35. 36 actually. Not 35.
You have to round 5 up.
There you go. They do.
Chill. Unless you truncate. Because sometimes we truncate for no reason. Well, there are reasons, but where you just cut the number off, you don't round. Because we use radical 2, right? 2 angles the same, we use radical 2. Down here we can figure out the hypotenuse kind of easily, but what is the long leg?
12. 7 radical 3.
Or 12 point what?
1, 2.
It looks like pi squared is
12.12.
wonderful.
Sorry, yeah, it's, yeah.
That would be a fun number.
Leg down here?
48. Yep.
Wait, they're possible.
It's a pi squared.
Legs here?
Yes.
What?
4.24.
Or How do we? Sorry, my brain's ahead of myself. How do we figure that out?
Oh, you just do x up radical, like those two sides, and then label them as x, so x radical 2 is equal to 6.
Yeah, so really it's just 6 divided by radical 2, right? Yeah. I mean, if we do the algebra to get the unknown by itself. Questions on solving these?
Nani.
So then,
Homer.
that's broken.
Wait, Homer?
Yes, because I said that. That was totally me.
It's a very convincing.
Yeah, I lost my privilege to do it. The what? So you know when reading the simulation thing, this is passive for yes.
Let's make sure we can define these like rules. I am trying to move kind of quickly.
Oh, that's what you said.
If we now use variable values, what would this like be?
X.
And then over here would be
X squared. 2x. I mean, x times y.
The square root of 2x.
2y. Y radical 3. 5x. What?
that's an
He's
X.
an x.
And that one should be
1
half x and
half x.
half
Half
x.
x.
Half
Half
x.
Oh.
3.
No, 3. Radical 3. Y'all are folios.
Oh yeah.
3 different angles. Right? 30, 60, 90. They're all multiples of 3. We have 3 different angles. Whatever way you remember it.
1 half x equal to x over 2?
Mhm.
Yes. It's 1 over 2 times x over 1. Yeah.
Is 1 half over 1 equal to 1 half?
So, in realistic terms, when would we use this? Situations like this. If I know the run of a house roof, but I don't know the span of the attic, we can figure that out, right? Now, of course, inches, this would be like a scale drawing or something. But if that's 6 and that's 6, and that is, wait, that's 60 though. So take a moment. How would we deal with situations like A,
It would be
B?
6. It would be 8. It would be 6.
No,
Yeah,
it was
it's
an equilateral.
Yeah, it would be an equilateral triangle. It would. Oh, yeah, it would.
So either if you fall into the trap of drop in altitude, right? If I drop in altitude, I can make a 30, 60, 90. Or yeah. Once I make that 30, 60, 90, I'm going to have 3 and 3. We get 6. Here, if we have the 45 over there, and again, my smartboard's just giving me issues.
45, 45. Both sides would be 6.
6, right? Because the hypotenuse is just radical 2 times the leg length. So 6 or 6 there.
That's a big trapezoid.
What?
8 feet, 3 feet. Yeah. Maybe it's like a human trap.
What would you use that shape for?
This is actually a lion trap.
This?
Yeah.
Who knows?
You would order
I mean,
off the
a lot of different things you could.
Order a pizza with that.
Sure.
It's 8 feet.
It's a giant level.
So how do we figure out
You
this?
could probably catch you with that.
How do we figure out the base here?
Split it.
Jacob?
So make a right triangle off of, right there.
That'd be-
And then it would be a 3, 4, 5 triangle.
Mmm.
That's 4. No, that's 4.
No.
You guys wouldn't even let me write the next one. I love it. So that's even though it doesn't look like it, that would be 4.
And another would probably be 8.
So that'll be 12. Yeah. If you could do addition right, it would be.
Whoa.
Oh, you're on this 12.00.
Do we need to practice more of these?
No.
We need to
I
practice
assume
more
we do.
addition. Actually, we need to
So
practice
work
more.
on your homework
Yeah.
/ if you have not turned in your test for me yet, I need that. / if you have not turned in the chapter 5 homework, I need that.
Jacob, have you turned in your check?
It's
Yeah.
gonna be like scourging my mind.
Wait.
Everything that's not
Yeah. I have.
blank graph paper, I'm not.
I just need like a few pieces for homework.
I'm using
What?
it.
Don't worry about it.
What?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
You are welcome.
I'm not able to use graph paper.
I'm gonna get some more packs of graph paper out. Actually, I'm gonna stop this recording because that's pointless at this point.
This is like a